This video we're going to work on solving systems of equations by substitution. It's going to go along with worksheet 4-1.6 if you have that. First off, we're looking and we've got one equation that's written in x equals form and the other one is in standard form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, oops, let's see, let me get the pen here. All right, there we go. I'm going to circle what x equals and I'm going to substitute it in here for x. I'm going to put it in here instead of x. So I'm going to rewrite this equation, but x comes out. Instead, I'm going to write y minus 3, and then write the rest of the equation here. Plus y equals 7. Well, now I put the y's together. How many y's do I have? I have 2y minus 3 equals 7. Now what I did was I substituted in for x so that now I only have one variable. Now I can find out what y is. So from here, we already should know how to do this. We add 3 to both sides. I get 2y equals 10. Divide by 2. Y equals 5. Now remember, a solution is the point where the two lines intersect. And that's going to be x and y. Well, I've already got my y now. I need to find my x. You can choose either one of these two equations. I always choose the one that says x equals or y equals just because I know that it's less steps. And all I have to do is put in the number. But it's not, I mean, you don't have to do it that way. So right here I've got y is 5. So I'm going to put 5 in here for y. Now on the second step, I've got a video that talks about how to do the second step just individually. So you can go and find that on YouTube as well. So instead of 5, instead of y, I'm going to write 5 minus 3. I get x equals 2. Okay, so my solution is 2, 5. Here's the next one. First thing you're going to look at, you're going to see, is one of these equations written in x equals or y equals form? Yes, it is. It's in y equals right here. I'm going to substitute and put that in, oh, not for y. See, that'll be the main mistake, is substituting it in the wrong place. Okay, so I'm going to take this, and it says x equals, so I'm going to put this in here for x. So instead of x, I'm going to put y plus 1, then write the rest of this equation right here. Plus y equals 3. See, now look, I went from having two different letters in there to just one. That's my goal. How many y's do I have? 2y plus 1 equals 3. Then you're going to subtract 1 from each side. You get 2y equals 2. Divide by 2. Y equals 1. Okay, so now I need to find one of the two, take one of the two equations and find out what x is. I'm going to take this top one. X equals y plus 1. We just found y to be 1, so I'm going to put this in here. I have x equals, instead of y, I have 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, so x equals 2. Next one. Well, let's try and see. Is one of my equations written in x equals or y equals form? The top one's not. That's in standard form. The bottom one is, though. Here's what y equals. I'm going to substitute that in here right here for y. So I have 3x plus, instead of y, I'm going to put 2x equals 10. Well, add up the x's. I get 5x equals 10. I'm going to divide by 5. X equals 2. Okay, well, I have the first part right now. See, and I would remember, I always write mine right away, so I remember that I put it in the right place. Look at one of the two equations. Pick either one. I'm going to pick the one that says y equals. Okay, it says y or x equals 2. So I'm going to put the 2 in here for this x. This says 2 times x, so I have y equals 2 times x. Instead of x is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Y equals 4. Here's the next one. Are one of my two equations written in y equals form? Yes, it is right here. It says y equals x plus 4, so I'm going to put that in here for y. So I'm going to rewrite the top equation. It starts 3x plus, and then I put in there x plus 4, and it equals 16. All right, well, the x's, I have 4x plus 4 equals 16. I will subtract 4 from each side. 4x equals 12. Divide by 4. X equals 3. So 3 and then something. Choose one of these two equations, and right here I've got y equals x plus 4. X is 3. I'm going to put that in here. Y equals, instead of x, I'm going to put a 3 plus 4. Y equals 7. So my solution where the two lines intersect is 3, 7. Here's the next one. Are one of the two equations written in y equals or x equals form? Yes, I have one that's in y equals. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to substitute it in here for y. I get negative 3x plus 3 times y. Now I'm going to leave a blank here. What I'm trying to show you is I'm going to rewrite the whole equation. See, this is where the y would go, but instead of y, I'm going to put the 2x plus 15. So put the 2x plus 15 in there. Okay, now this negative 3x comes down, but this 3 is outside the parentheses, so you have to do hippity-hoppity distributive property. That's really just called distributive property, but hippity-hoppity is what I call it. 3 times 2 is 6x. 3 times 15 is 45, and it equals 21. Well, now these two go together. Negative 3 plus 6 is 3x plus 45, and that equals 21. Subtract 45 from each side. 3x equals negative 24. Divide by 3. X equals negative 8. So there's half of it. X is negative 8. Now I need to find my y. Choose one of the two equations. Again, I always choose the one that says x equals or y equals. It says y equals 2 times x plus 15. X is negative 8. So let's put this up here in there for x. Y equals 2 times x. X is negative 8 plus 15. Y equals 2 times negative 8 is negative 16 plus 15. Y equals negative 1. Here's the next one. Look and see, is there any one of the equations that's written in x equals or y equals? Yes, it is right here. Y equals is right there. I have negative 7x plus 3 times, okay, 3 times y equals negative 17. So I rewrote it. I just took out the y. Instead of the y, I'm going to put in there x minus 3. So this equation and this one are the same, except I just took away the y. So now I only have one letter. I have negative 7x. That just comes straight down. 3 times x. 3x. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9 equals negative 17. To solve from here, put your x's together. I get negative 4x minus 9 equals negative 17. Add 9 to each side. Negative 4x equals negative 8. Divide by negative 4. X equals 2. Now I need to find the y. choose one of the two equations. This one's going to come over here. I've got y equals x minus 3. X is 2, so let's put 2 in here. Y equals 2 minus 3. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. There's my solution. The two lines intersect at 2, negative 1. Next one. Okay, let's look and see. Is one of my equations written in x equals or y equals form? Yes, it's y equals again right here. I'm going to put this in here for y. So let's rewrite that bottom equation. 7x plus 2 times y, don't know what y is, equals 5. I get 3x plus 9. 7x comes down here. Distributive property. 2 times 3 is 6x. 2 times 9 is 18. This right here, this is 13x plus 18 equals 5. Subtract 18 from each side. 13x equals negative 13. Divide by 13. X equals negative 1. There's half of it. Now I need to find the other part. Okay, I'm going to take this equation that says y equals. It says x is negative 1. So I'm going to put that in here. Now it says y equals 3 times x. X is negative 1 plus 9. Y equals 3 times negative 1 is negative 3 plus 9. Y equals 6. My solution is negative 1, 6. The last one of my equations right here, I have y equals, I will take this right here, circle it. I'm going to substitute it in here for y. So let's rewrite this equation. 8x plus 4 times y equals 20. Well, what is y? I'm going to put it in here, negative 7x plus 10. That's what we're substituting in. Well, now we have 8x. 4 times negative 7 is negative 28x. 4 times 10 is 40, and it equals 20. Put my x's together. Negative 20x plus 40 equals 20. Subtract 40 from each side. Negative 20x equals negative 20. Divide by negative 20. The board's acting kind of weird here. X equals 1. So I have 1, and then I need to find my y. I'm going to take this equation. It says y equals negative 7x plus 10. X is 1. I'm going to put it in here for x. I have y equals negative 7 times x times 1 plus 10. Y equals negative 7 plus 10. Y equals 3. This is solving by substitution.